Let me tell you about Blink Twice. Blink Twice is about tech billionaire Slater King, and he meets a cocktail waitress at this party. Her name is Frida. Her and her struggling girlfriend Jess are just they're waitresses at this big event with all these rich billionaires. And on a whim, Slater King, played by Channing Tatum, is so taken with Frida, so taken with her beauty, that he decides, hey, why don't you come along on this journey? They go off to an exotic island where they have breakfast mimosas, exotic dinners. They're drinking all day, shots by the pool. It's an idyllic paradise. The men are going off fishing while the women are at the spa all day, but things are not quite right. Something is weird about this island. There's the tone is that there's some evil in the background. Frida doesn't know what it is. Jess and her friend Jess doesn't know what it is. Things feel off, but they're just partying and having fun all day. Their phones are collected by the woman who seems to be running things in the house, played by Gina Davis. She says, hey, you got to take your phones. You won't miss them. And then they just have fun. They take Polaroids of each other because there are no phones. They take Polaroids. And I will say this movie, directed by Zoe Kravitz, looks beautiful. I mean, the opening scene is this weird where everything is white, but they have these tables and everyone's dressed in tuxes. Like, it looks like the most beautiful photography from Instagram, but it's a movie. But and then when you learn what's really going on at this island, what kind of island could this be? What things are happening to the women, and things really get weird when Frida's friend Jess just disappears and no one remembers Jess. It's like bad things are happening and their memories are being wiped. The film opens with a warning. We've seen trigger warnings on entertainment, right? Like in the past. This is from a website, pedestrian.tv. Here's the trigger warning from this film. I'll read it to you. This is how I knew something was weird. In the first 10 seconds, we get this trigger warning. Here it is. And this is from Amazon Studios, put this on the beginning of the film. Trigger warning. We are proud to finally share Blink Twice with audiences in theaters this weekend. Blink Twice is a psychological thriller about the abuse of power. While this is a fictionalized story, it contains mature themes and depictions of violence, including sexual violence. This may be upsetting or triggering for some viewers. For resources that offer support, visit blinktwiceresources.com. That opened the film. Okay, that was the opening. And it does not disappoint in that. Yes, it is a thriller. There is sexual violence, but I think no better or worse than anything we've seen in other, what you would call erotic thrillers. I mean, it's kind of shocking, some of the violence. And the violence isn't just against women, by the way. There are scenes where men are receiving the recipients of said violence. But from that opening, I thought, okay, whatever, trigger warnings. We're doing land acknowledgments and trigger warnings now for movies. Fine. And the movie really had me. The first half of this film, up to the disappearance of Frida's friend Jess, is pretty good thriller. Like, the tone was great. It goes off the rails in the second half with a super luxury Me Too like message that you're like, oh my God, did the HR department write the second half of the film? And the final scene of the movie is so god awful. I got up and walked out. I hated this film. It's a huge lecture on, I don't need to be lectured that sexual violence is bad because I know. And we have seen things in this movie, in other films from the past. Yeah, we kind of know that stuff is bad. It's in a movie. It's not being celebrated at all. But the way this movie, and one of the unbelievable things about this film is that Frida is played by Naomi Aki, who has this sort of gap tooth. She's cute. She is nowhere. She's not like Channing Tatum as Slater King is like, I'm with a top model super goddess. The women in this film, I hate to say this, are kind of mid, with the exception of Adria or Arjana, who plays Sarah. Like, how did these mid women get to this island? You know? The twist at the end is so dumb. It's like, that's why I say the HR department of Amazon wrote the ending of this movie and demanded it. It's terrible. It's super luxury. You can probably tell that from the trailer, but my God, that I should have known. A trigger warning should be, hey, get ready to hate this movie. I despised it. I walked out. Everyone I saw it with was like, ugh, what did we just see? It's a streaming film that is released to theaters. And I could not hate this movie enough. It's a 2 out of 10 at best. But I will say, Zoe Kravitz, she made the movie look good. It's the message nature of it that killed it for me. So I cannot recommend Blink Twice.
I remember last week we were talking about what we're covering this week, and I specifically mentioned I do not want to see Blink Twice. I absolutely don't want to see Blink Twice. And you're confirming every reason why I didn't want to see Blink Twice. Because the thriller / horror nature of it, okay. But it's this, you just know there's a lecture coming.
Yeah.
And why would I subject myself to a lecture? Why would I pay money for a lecture?
Basically what you find out is they're being drugged with a drug that makes you forget. And that's it. So, and then the women twisted around on the men at the end. So yes, It ends literally with a Yaz queen. I'm not joking. Yeah. It literally ends with, may as well have ended with a yes, queen. Yes. Yes. So there you go. So all I can say is blink twice, be warned, don't go see this movie.